Hello and welcome. I'm Agnieszka from Wheels on the Bike. In this video, I take my bike out on this frozen pond to test the performance of studded tires on ice. So if you're thinking of getting studded tires or maybe have them installed on your bike already, but question whether or not they make a difference on ice, well, I did the testing so you don't have to. So if you'd like to see me slip and slide, maybe, on ice as I test my studded tires, keep watching. Welcome to the testing ground of this little experiment, a frozen pond. So here I am riding on ice, and my speed throughout this test is anywhere between 8 to 12 kilometers an hour. I'm testing the tires by braking to see how much sliding there is when I attempt to stop. I am engaging both the front and back brakes because that is what I typically do. I am also testing to see how much sliding there is when I start the ride after I stopped. So I am pretty uncomfortable about riding on ice at this point. Having said that, the tires performed very well when braking on ice, and I give them a thumbs up. As I continue testing, I'm looking to see how grippy the tires are as I ride on ice, whether they slip or slide when the bike is in motion as I pedal on. So here I was specifically looking at the riding experience overall. Here's a close-up view of my back tire. I have two different studded tires on the wheels. On the front, I have a 45 North Gravdale tire, and on the back, I have a Schwalbe winter tire. They each have different stud patterns and differ in how many studs they have in total. The tires are in their second year, so the studs are a bit more dull, but they're still performing very well. Now, this was not my first experience riding on ice. Last year, I rented this ice-adapted tricycle and rode it up and down the Rideau Canal in Ottawa, Ontario at night. This bike was very different because instead of a front wheel, it had an ice skate-like blade. My experience riding this tricycle was fantastic, and it was a great intro to cycling on ice. What is riding on ice like? Well, there are different types of ice, but in this case I was riding on a frozen pond, so the surface was a bit bumpy, like ice in its natural state. This would have been a different experience if I were riding on a skating rink, which would have been a lot smoother and I think a lot more slippery. Not to say that this wasn't slippery, it's still ice. I was also very aware that I was riding on ice, so I kept my speed quite low, somewhere around 10 kilometers at the beginning. And at the beginning especially, I would get off the saddle and push my bike like a kick scooter when I came to a corner or wanted to turn, because I was really afraid of falling. So here I am coming to a bend, and I think this was actually the first time I rode this curve as opposed to pushing my bike through it, and the tires performed very well. But it also helped that I slowed right down and took it really easy when navigating this corner. So how did the tires do? Are studded tires worth it? Do they make a difference? In my experience in this experiment of riding on ice, the tires performed very well. I don't think I could have ridden on this ice with my regular tires. They stopped the bike when I applied brakes, and they didn't skid or slip when I was moving. And that's what studded tires are for. For me, studded tires are absolutely worth it, and I will continue putting them on my bike for the winter. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you ride on studded tires, what has your experience been like with them? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.